morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to today's tutorial. We're making this lovely dress. If you're interested, keep watching. So I'm using my already made pattern. So what I'm doing here is I'm going up by 1 inch from the chest line, then I'll draw a straight line and then I'll cut it out because I will not be doing like a bustier type of situation here. So I'm doing like a bust that, and I'm closing the waist dart. Next time I'll be closing the bust dart and the waist dart to give it more fitting, so you can do whatever you want. And for the back, we'll just go ahead and cut it from our chest line. So for the back, we'll just be closing our dart like so, and for the front, I'll close up the waist dart because I want to open up the bust dart because that's what we'll be using instead of the waist dart. So after closing up the waist dart, we're going to open up the bust dart, and that's what we'll be using. So let's cut our dress. For the top part, I'll be needing 2 pieces for the front and 4 pieces for the back, one for the right side and one for the left side, because I'll be using the same fabric as the lining and the main piece. So right now I'm cutting the back piece. I need 4 pieces for the back. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my 1 inch sewing allowance, half an inch for the top part, 1 inch zipper allowance at the center back, and half an inch for the lower part where I'll be joining the skirt part to the top part. And please do not forget to notch your dart so it will be easy for you to sew it. So right now I'll be cutting the front piece. I need 2 pieces for the front because I'm cutting on fold, and I cut 4 pieces for the back because it was not on fold. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my half inch on the down part to join the skirt part, and now I'm trying to fold my bust dart so I can take my measurement and to be easy for me to sew that. So there you have it. Now for the first tier, I did my waist measurement times 3, and then for the second tier, I did whatever I got from my first tier times 2, because I want it to be a little bit full. I didn't have enough fabric, so I didn't really follow this, but if you do have enough fabric, please go ahead and follow this. So right now I have all my pieces laying down: my first tier, my second tier, my front and back pattern, and my straps. I cut out 4 straps for my top, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. So I've gone ahead to iron stay on my top, my front and the back top. So now I'm trying to mark out my bust dart. So what I'm doing here is I just marked it out, and then I came in by 1 inch or 0.5. You necessarily do not have to come out by 0.5 or 1 inch. You can just do your bust dart exact way it is, and then you go ahead and sew it and trim it. And then for the back, I just join my dart and trim it really tiny so it will be laying flat. So I did the same thing for the front as well, and then I'll go ahead and iron it really well so it lays completely flat. So the next thing I'll be doing is joining my straps. My strap is folded into 2, and then I'll go ahead and sew it. This measurement is 2 inches. So when I fold it is 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead and turn it inside out to reveal the right side. And after that, you go ahead and iron it really flat so it stays neat and really well. The next step is to place 2 straps for the front. Now what I'm doing is I'm measuring it. So what I'm using is 4 inch. So I'll go went ahead and notch that area. That's where I'll be putting our strap. So I pinned it down, and I pinned the other side as well. So I tried it on my body to see if the place I put the strap is exactly where I want it to be, so I can actually just adjust it. So after doing that, I came back to close up the top part of our top pattern, and using our lining piece. So I'm going to sew on the top part, and then I'll go ahead and top stitch the lining so it lays really flat. So I'll repeat the same thing for the back piece as well, and make sure you don't forget to iron it. So after I do that, I'll bring the back piece and join it to the front piece by the side. So now I'm putting my back piece on my front piece. Do not forget to lay it flat completely. Now I'm going to sew the side by 1 inch. Just make sure your measurement is right. After doing that, I just went ahead and tried it out again just to make sure that I'm fine with it, and that's what I have there. So now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to gather the first tier, which I used my long stitch to sew, so I'll be able to like draw the gathers. So you have to be very careful for this part. After doing that, I'll go ahead and join my first tier to my main bodice. So what I love to do is I love to pin it so it is accurate. So what I'm doing here, I am pinning the two sides and then adjusting the gathers to the size of my top. After you're satisfied with this, you go ahead and sew it down, and then you weave it. If you have a weaving machine, this is the best time for you to just weave everything to make sure everything is really neat. So this is how it should look like after you finish sewing on this part. So now what we are doing is we're trying to sew the zipper allowance, or try to sew the zipper to the dress. So I'm just trying to measure where I want my zipper to start and stop from, and then from where I want it to stop from, I'll sew all the way down. After doing that, I'll go ahead and sew my zip like I'm doing in the video. I love to pin it down before I sew because I'm not the biggest fan for zips. Nah. So the tips I have for sewing the zip is have a zipper foot. It is very useful. At this point I had to change the zip because it was too short, so I went ahead and sewed my zip. At this point you can decide whether you want to just one tier or you want to. So I wanted to, but I went ahead to just try it out to see how it looks. So for the second tier I did the exact same thing I did for the first tier, which I gathered and then joined. So I joined the second tier to the first tier, and that's what you want to do. After doing that, you go ahead and finish off your hem and you're done with your dress. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. Please do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Happy sewing! Mwah!